Hi, it's Mrs. Christie's Story Time. Today's story is called Mrs. Broomstick's School for Witches by Jana Dillon. Special shout out to Finn, because I know this is one of his favorite books. Hopefully you can sit down and read along with us. When the sun sets, it's time for class to begin at Mrs. Broomstick's school. During the day, it's a regular school, but when night falls, Mrs. Broomstick waves her wand and transforms the building into a perfect school for young witches. The students are filing in. Pandora is last in line. She's almost late. Again. Good evening, little witches, says Mrs. Broomstick. Tonight we'll learn some exciting lessons. I know you'll all be careful listeners because you're wonderful students. Now that it is a good way to warm the hearts of all the little witches on this crisp October evening. Which little witch remembers which lesson is first? Miss Broomstick asks. I do, Pandora calls out. We learn to ride our brooms. Pandora runs to the broom corner and the other little witches hurry along behind her. Now she's first in line, not last. The little witches are new at flying. Notice how they fly their broomsticks close to the ground. They don't want to fall too far. Great bats and cats, cries Mrs. Broomstick. Pandora's doing a handstand on her broom. Please sit on the broom, Pandora, Miss Broomstick says sternly. Remember what I said about safety. Crash! Oh my, poor little witch. Are you okay, dear? Miss Broomstick helps Pandora up. Don't worry, Pumpkin. Someday you'll be a top-flight witch. Just listen to all the directions before you start. Miss Broomstick leads the little witches to the black cat room. It's kitten time, the teacher says. You must train your very own black kitten to be a great witch's cat. The students pet and play with their kittens, and the kittens love their little witches. Pandora's kitten eases her by playing hide and seek. Pandora, said Mrs. Broomstick, that kitten is your pet. You are not the kitten's pet. Just like little witches, kittens are not born knowing how to use magic. The students have to teach them. Today the kittens are learning to change into baby ravens. Excellent, excellent, said Mrs. Broomstick. But wait, what is that terrible smell? It's us, Miss Broomstick, wails Pandora. My kitten has turned into a skunk. Miss Broomstick smiled and shakes her head. Remember to listen to all the directions before you begin, Pandora. Then she shows Pandora how to train her kitten. Soon Pandora's kitten turns into a fluffy raven chick and back again. Next, the students head to the witch's kitchen. All little witches must learn to stew a fine cauldron of witch's brew, said Mrs. Broomstick. She hands out the ingredients: a clump of cobwebs, a handful of snake tongues, a pinch of toadwarts, an armload of bat fur, a bucket of alligator armpits, and, of course, one eye of newt each. Miss Broomsticks and the students chant, Hocus pocus, stinky stew, change into a witch's brew. I can make my brew bubble like my mother's brew, said Pandora. Your mother's brew is boiling hot, Miss Broomstick says. Our school brew is safely cold. It will be safe, says Pandora. I brought bubble bath to school. Wait, Pandora, cries Mrs. Broomstick. Don't open that box. Too late. Bubbles cover Pandora, the kittens, and all the other little witches, too. Bubble trouble, said Mrs. Broomstick. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Pandora, when will you learn to listen to the directions? The little witch's shoulders slump. Miss Broomstick takes pity on her. It's all right, dear. Let's just clean up. With the help of Miss Broomstick's magic wand, the kitchen is tidy in no time at all. Now we'll learn how to carve jack-o'-lanterns, Miss Broomstick announces. Make the eyes and nose the shape of triangles, she tells the class. Is everyone paying attention? Pandora, are you listening? Pandora loves the squishy pumpkin pulp. She squeezes it between her hands until it squirts out. Splat! Oh no, Mrs. Broomstick is covered with pulp. Great bats and pointed hats, she cries. I'm sorry, Mrs. Broomstick, wailed Pandora. Don't worry, Pandora, I can wipe it off, said Mrs. Broomstick, but please, please listen to my directions. Once the jack-o'-lanterns have been carved, it is snack time. The little witches love their fried pumpkin seeds. The other witches giggle at Pandora. She's throwing the seeds in the air and catching them in her mouth. Miss Broomstick sighs. Fiddlesticks and broomsticks, she says to herself. Then she calls out, Class, it's time for recess. Pandora organizes a new game called Bobbing for Toads. The little witches shriek and laugh. What's going on? Asks Miss Broomstick. Pandora won, shout the students. Well, congratulations, Pandora, said Miss Broomstick. She rolls her eyes. Now spit out that toad and lead your friends to the sink. Gargle, everyone. Miss Broomstick notices the time. My stars, she said, it's already 11 o'clock. At midnight, it will be the witching hour. That's when every little witch should be home with her family, casting spells or mixing magic brews. Miss Broomstick passes out sponges. Let's chant our cleanup spell. Icky, acky, dirty grunge, clean it up quickly, magic sponge. Oh dear, Pandora's sponge is out of control. She needs Miss Broomstick's help again. Now tuck in your kittens, says Miss Broomstick. The tiny black cats are sleepy at the end of the busy night. The little witches gently carry their kittens to bed, but Pandora still wants to play. Calm down, Pandora, said Mrs. Broomstick. You'll get your kitten all wound up. Nighty-night, little kitty, says Pandora. She runs to say goodbye to the toads in the tub and forgets to shut the kitten's gate. Fetch your jack-o'-lanterns and line up to go home, students, said Mrs. Broomstick. Pandora turns quickly to listen to Mrs. Broomstick's directions and bumps into the shelf. Bang! The tub of toads falls. Hop, hop, squeak, squeak. Toads are everywhere. Meow! The kittens run out to chase the toads. Thunderation! Cries Mrs. Broomstick. What's going on? Why, it's Pandora again. Miss Broomstick quickly takes charge. Hurry, little witches, she calls. Catch your kittens. The tiny witches chase the kittens. The kittens chase the toads. The toads hop and leap. Little witches shout, here, kitty, kitty, here, kitty, kitty. Kittens hiss and meow. Toads ribbit. Miss Broomstick can't believe her wild classroom. She waves her wand. Suddenly the toads are in the tub, and each kitten stops. The little witches pause, surprised, and look at Miss Broomstick. Kittens to bed, she orders, and the students quietly carry their kittens back to bed. This time, Pandora closes the gate. Miss Broomstick slumps into a chair as the little witches line up to go home with their jack-o'-lanterns. Wait, what's this? Pandora is out of line. She comes over to her teacher. Miss Broomstick, she asks in a small, worried voice. Miss Broomstick? Yes, Pandora. Miss Broomstick, was I any trouble for you tonight? Miss Broomstick leaned over and says to the tiny witch, Sweet Pandora, you fill our school night with surprises. I love you, Miss Broomstick, says Pandora, beaming with joy, and I promise to be full of surprises tomorrow. Bye. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for more tomorrow.